first piece for a second.
Well, hello. How are you this evening? Welcome to member-supported Red River Radio. It's our Fall Pledge Drive. Glad to have you with us on this Thursday. Beautiful out there. We are pleased to have with us Twang Darkly for the next couple of hours. Why don't you introduce the band there, Michael? Who all do you have with you? It looks like you have your full band tonight.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you in the cans here. So
Oh, you're not? Well, let me do this. Let me do this ID.
My name's Michael.
Okay.
Futrell. Over here on the guitar, we've got Joel Boltinghouse. He's also got a bass guitar waiting for us. And we've got Lane Bayless on the percussion. He's got all kinds of things, including a strange gourd that I made for him to bang on.
Man, there's plenty of gourds out there.
I'm still not hearing you at all, Mark.
Okay.
Yep, plenty of gourds.
I said there's plenty of gourds out there these days that you can pick up at a real good price and make some more instruments.
Well, if you're hearing me, I could play. Give me the thumbs up.
All right, okay. I can hear you. Let me do this ID quickly. You're listening to the voice of the community, member-supported Red River Radio, a public media service of LSUS, at 89.9 FM, KDAQ, Shreveport-Bossier, at 90.7 FM, KLSA, Alexandria, Pineville, at 90.9 FM, KBSA, El Dorado, Magnolia, Camden, at 88.9 FM, KLDN, Lufkin, Nacogdoches, at 100.7 FM, KTYK, Overton, Tyler, Kilgore, and we broadcast on translator K214CE in Grambling, Louisiana. It's our Fall Pledge Drive. We're excited to have this group with us, Twang Darkly. And we talked about this before, Michael. How did you come up with the name, Twang Darkly?
Well, it was back about 2009 or so. I was recording some original music, and I had created this spaghetti western sounding piece with lots of wailing harmonica. Sounded like something from a Morricone film or something, and I was imagining some kind of character wandering the wasteland in a duster, and I thought his name would be Twang Darkly.
Sounds good to me.
That's where the name comes from.
Okay, so you have the full band with you tonight. I see Mr. Bayless over there.
That's right. We're glad to have you here tonight.
Yes, I'm here as well.
Glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Okay. And the other gentleman over here on the guitar?
My name is Joel Boltinghouse.
That's right. We've talked to, okay. It's been a while. Our number is 800-552-8502. We would love to have you to call in and make your donation to member-supported Red River Radio. It's nice of this group to come up here for 2 hours and to perform for you free of charge. They donate their time, and we really appreciate them. We're the only radio facility, broadcast facility in this area that gives you live music like this. It's quite a treat, and we're lucky to be able to do this, and we need listener support to keep programs like this on the air. Our number, 800-552-8502. Our website, redriverradio.org, and just click the donate button. Okay, so what's the first tune you have for us tonight, Michael?
We're going to start out with a piece called Devil's Stomping Ground.
Well, it's appropriate for October.
That's right.
Halloween's coming up here pretty soon, so go ahead and do your thing. Twain Darkley on the air with us tonight until 10 o'clock at Red River Radio. It's our Fall Pledge Drive. And we would love for you to call us and make your donation to member-supported Red River Radio. We're right at $50,000. And it takes listeners like you to keep programs like this on the air. So, Michael, what year did you start putting these instruments of your own together? What inspired you, by the way?
Well, I grew up in North Carolina, and you saw a lot of these. The instrument I'm playing now is called an Appalachian dulcimer. You saw a lot of these up in the mountainous part of the state, and a lot of them you would see would be handmade, obviously made from all kinds of things. And I saw one made from a gourd once, and that really intrigued me. So at some point in the early 2000s, I started fooling around with such things. After I realized if I wanted an electric dulcimer, I was going to have to build it myself.
And I guess you saw quite a few of those up there that folks have made on their own instruments.
Indeed, and I in fact saw one made from a gourd once in a farmer's market, and that got me really thinking, oh, this is something I could do. And over the years, I just kind of kept tinkering with it until I finally have found a way to make it work for me.
Well, that sounds great. All the instruments you make are terrific.
Thank you.
Okay, so what's your next tune for us?
We're going to do one called The Grand Circle. This is a piece that sort of imagines a set of scenery out in a place called Red Rock Canyon, which is just outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a beautiful place, and it's night and day from the Las Vegas Strip, of course. And I spent some time out there back in 2015 doing an artist in residence gig, and this was one of the pieces that came out of that.
Take it away. Very nice. That kind of music will put you to sleep pretty easily.
I'm not sure if that was a compliment or not.
It is a compliment, to be honest with you. That is a compliment coming from me. You know, when I was a younger guy, it was easy for me to sleep. Now that I'm an older guy, I don't think I really ever sleep. So it wouldn't matter if I was listening to that or not. I probably wouldn't sleep. But so how many CDs do you have out? I'm sure you have quite a few.
There are 7 Twang Darkly albums, and I also have 7 solo albums.
Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you can find them in all the usual places if you search for us.
Okay, like the usual places being.
You know, Spotify, all that kind of stuff.
That's good. Well, that's terrific. 800-552-8502. With us tonight, Twang Darkly, performing in the Performance Studio until 10 o'clock. And we really appreciate it every time they come in for a pledge drive. It's always a big thrill for us to have them here at member-supported Red River Radio. Tomorrow, Michael, we're giving away a cruise, 6 to 8 nights, courtesy of Expedia Cruises. And when you call in and make a donation, you could possibly win that cruise.
That sounds fantastic. I hope some folks are getting ready to call right now.
That's right. Tell them they need to call in if they want to maybe win that cruise.
That's right. The number is 800-552-8502.
02. He knows that number by heart. 800-552-8502. Our website, redriverradio.org. Just click the donate button. Okay, so what instrument? The same one? You're going to play something for us on the same instrument, right?
Well, no, this is a different instrument, although it's still a dulcimer. This is an electric dulcimer that I built from a 19th century ironing board made of cypress. It's been in my family for a long time.
Well, do you have a wood shop at home?
I have a garage, which is the next best thing.
Have you ever had a neighbor come over and say, "What are you building right there, buddy?"
Sometimes they poke their head in, particularly when I'm making flutes and stuff and trying them out and making weird sounds.
That's good.
I drove up to his garage the other day. I was dropping something off or something, and he was out in his wood shop, and he had all his tools with he had a big bottle of Everclear there, and so I was like, "Wow, you're woodworking and partying," but he told me that it was something for the finish, so he wasn't drinking Everclear while dealing with dangerous tools.
Not much, anyway. You can cut the shellac with Everclear.
I guess it would be to where you, at some point in your life, you're walking through the woods or whatever, you see a branch and go, that'll be a great instrument. I'm going to take that home and make something out of that.
Well, the first time it happened to me was at a farmer's market, and there was a gourd that was about as tall as my waist.
Wow.
And that became what is now known as the electric gourd, which is not here with us tonight. But
So you still have it.
oh, yeah.
So how do you preserve those gourds? Shellac?
Shellac works really well, but they preserve themselves pretty well.
Wow, that's pretty neat. Just don't ever make an instrument out of a fish or anything like that, okay?
Okay.
That's my advice. 800-552-8502.
I used to play in a band in Raleigh, North Carolina that did Andean folk music, and one of the instruments of the Andes Mountains is called a charango, and it's a little tiny guitar, and traditionally they were made from armadillo shells.
I bet that's pretty interesting, yeah. And I've seen some armadillo shell guitars over the years, small ones over in Texas. So. All right. We'd love for you to call us and make a donation, 800-552-8502. With us, Michael Futrell and Twang Darkly until 10 o'clock. So take it away, Michael.
All right, we're going to do one now called Wire Mountain Stomp number 2.
Dwayne Darkley is with us here at member-supported Red River Radio. It's our Fall Pledge Drive. We would love to hear from you wherever you might be, from Alexandria, Louisiana, Mississippi, El Dorado, Arkansas, Nacogdoches, Texas, Lufkin, Tyler, Texas, Marshall, Longview. We'd love to hear from you. I know we have a lot of listener members out there. So call in at 800-552-8502 and make your donation to member-supported Red River Radio. We have Michael Futrell and Dwayne Darkley with us until 10 o'clock. What you got for us next, Michael?
We're going to do one now that's in honor of my bandmate here, Joel Boltinghouse.
Okay.
His family has been in Texas a real long time, and I some time ago learned a story about his family that they settled in the hills outside of Austin. In fact, there's a particularly big hill out there called Boltinghouse Mountain. And Joel can probably fill us in about what happened when his ancestors got to Boltinghouse Mountain.
Yeah, we always tell the story. My great whatever, Daniel Boltinghouse, ridded Boltinghouse Mountain of all the bears. And normally we dedicate this one to the Bears, not the football team. But tonight I want to do a special dedication. I lost a cousin of mine last week to COVID, Jimmy, and so this one's for Jimmy.
Twain Darkley, on the air, live in the Performance Studio at member-supported Red River Radio. Today is Thursday, the 19th of October, and tomorrow is the last day of our pledge drive. Make your donation to keep programs like this on the air. Michael Frutrell, any new stuff for us tonight?
Yeah, there will be some new stuff for you
Okay, well,
tonight.
great. So stay tuned for that. So this next instrument you have is what, a mandolin?
I'm going to go grab a chromatic dulcimer, and Joel will regale you with some tale while I go grab it.
All right. What kind of tale you got for me, Joel?
Oh man, what kind of tales don't I have?
Tell me about this mountain. With
Yeah,
the bears.
Yeah, no, it's west of Austin. There's a cemetery in Smithwick, Texas. New Braunfels, not New Braunfels. I'm spacing it. Anyway, west of Austin, there's a big lake there. Marble Falls, that's it. Marble Falls. There's a cemetery there, and it's like maybe 80% bolting houses, which is kind of a rare name. But the story is they were heading west, all these bolting houses, southwest from somewhere in the Midwest, Illinois, Indiana. Hopefully my Aunt Mary Lynn's listening so she could correct me next time I see her. But anyway, a wagon broke, and some of the folks stayed with that wagon, and so there's bolting houses in the Marble Falls area, and then the rest of them went further on south down to the Corpus area down there. So there's a big, I would call it a hill, but they call it a mountain. It's called Bolting House Mountain. It's really beautiful out there. There's a cabin that an ancestor of mine made. It's just a really cool area. Even if folks didn't have family ties out there, it's just that hill country area out there is very, very beautiful.
So I think if you're going to be traveling, we should all check that area out, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you won't see any bears, right?
No,
It
no.
is bear-free and safe
Daniel
at this
took
point.
care of
Of
the
all
bears.
the bears.
Yes, yes.
So maybe it should be a Saint Daniel, kind of like the Saint Patrick who ran all the serpents, all the
Exactly.
snakes out of Ireland.
Yes, yes. Saint Daniel took care of all the bears, the four bears. Yeah.
Saint Daniel who rid the bears.
Yes, Daniel Boltinghouse.
Boltinghouse.
No more bears there.
So, I guess if you're a Bears fan, you don't want any bears there. either.
Yeah. Well,
The way their season's going. so.
yeah. And Butkus dying recently.
Oh yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah.
I met him one time. That's another story. But okay, so what's next on your playlist?
All right, we're going to do a little medley here, starting out with a piece that we rarely play, so it'll be new to most people, called the Mountain Rovers, and that's going to segue into a pretty new piece called Beyond the Fields We Know.
Take it away. Swaying Darkly on member-supported Red River Radio. Great tune there. Thank you so much. How do you get your inspiration for writing these songs?
A lot of it comes from natural settings. I do a lot of what you might call landscape music. But the second half of that piece, called Beyond the Fields We Know, was inspired by a fantasy story called The King of Elfland's Daughter. It was written around the turn of the 20th century by an Irish writer called Lord Dunsany.
How do you feel about banjos? You never have any with you. I was just kind of curious.
I'm in favor of banjos.
Oh, you like them? Yeah, I do too.
We have a pro banjo format with this band.
Right.
Yes.
And, there's a lot of similarity in many ways between the dulcimer and the banjo, in that they both rely on droning strings quite frequently to create this kind of modal sound. Of course, they both are heavily used in the Appalachian regions of America. Although the banjo, of course, traces its history back to Africa, whereas the dulcimer traces its history to Northern Europe.
Right. Well, what's the originality of the dojo? Is it from the same area over the banjo?
Are you talking about a dobro?
Dobro, I mean, yeah.
I don't know as much about the history of the dobro. Do you, Joel?
No, that's a good question.
We'll have to look that up before next time, and so we're prepared.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know that the dobro with its, kind of the metal resonator thing, it was kind of just to be louder. When you're playing with horns and loud accordions and banjos, it was kind of like the original amplification. But I don't really know if it's any different than the Spanish origins of the guitar. It was just kind of my guess would be it's just kind of a technological advancement to be louder. But I could be wrong. I don't know. They're cool.
Yeah, they are. So what's next on your playlist there, Michael?
This next one is another landscape-inspired piece. It's called Scenic Overlook. And this one in particular was written a few years ago. I recorded it for my mother, actually. That my parents live up in the Appalachian Mountains. And I recorded this for her on her birthday, but it's become one we play a lot because it's one of my favorite pieces. Scenic Overlook, it's called.
You're listening to member-supported Red River Radio. Glad to have you along with us tonight with the band Twang Darkly. And they'll be with us until 10. Our number 800-552-8502. They're playing all original music, and public radio, Red River Radio, we're all original as well. We're your local radio station, commercial free. And we ask for our listeners to call in and make a donation. Let's hear those phones ring. We have people that are here manning the telephones, 800-552-8502. Okay, Michael, what you got next for us?
We're going to do a piece now called Tom on the G Train.
Very nice. So, our engineer Rob had a question. What were you playing over that harmonica, Michael?
I had some vibrato going on it, and I was playing with the depth
Oh, okay.
control. So I'm running the harmonica through my guitar rig, or my dulcimer rig, as you will.
That's pretty cool. Very, very nice.
Yeah, it's a cool sound.
Really is.
I never get tired of hearing it. We've played that song hundreds of times, and I always look over and go, "That's just so cool."
Now, you guys don't do any vocalization, do you? It's all instrumental, that's it.
Every now and then we might do a song like that, but not tonight.
Okay. 800-552-8502, the number to call and make your donation to member-supported Red River Radio. We have with us Twain Darkley live in the studios until 10 o'clock tonight. Our number 800-552-8502. And Michael, now this is what instrument is this?
We're back to my ironing board electric dulcimer now.
Okay.
And we're going to do a piece called, and this is a new one. In fact, I don't think we ever played this one out in public before. It's called Hill Dance Number 3.
Now, why is it called Hill Dance Number 3? Because you did a 1 and a 2?
There's a Hill
Hill
Dance
Dance
Number
1
4, but there is no Hill Dance 1 or 2. But
Oh,
maybe
okay.
someday. It's actually named for the position of the capo on the dulcimer.
Okay. I have a feeling that everything that you name has some kind of a sense to it, meaning.
Usually, it's until I give a song a name that has a meaning, I usually don't feel like I can play it anywhere.
I got you. Makes perfectly good sense to me.
Now, this is a nice little Appalachian sounding piece here, so hope you'll enjoy it. And I hope it goes as we expect. We'll see.
Twain Darkley in the studios at member-supported Red River Radio. Glad to have them with us. In the Appalachians, you talk about that quite a bit. Is there quite a bit of music going on up there all the time?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, tell me about that. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's interesting. When I first became acquainted with the dulcimer, I was traveling up there as a child in the 70s and in the 80s, and mostly with dulcimers, you saw them hanging on the walls as opposed to being played, even by that time. It took many years before I was able to find a decent amount of recorded music for these instruments, and it was a circuitous path through becoming interested in English folk music, only to follow it back to realize that, this is where Appalachian folk music comes from too. It's like English and Scottish folk music that got left out in the woods for a really long time and kind of metastasized into its own thing. And then once I sort of started putting those pieces together, I was able to start to encounter a lot more the kind of music I was looking for. Of course, you find a lot of folks up there doing bluegrass and that kind of stuff, but old-time Appalachian music kind of predates that, and that's what interests me more.
You're listening to the Voice of the Community, member-supported Red River Radio, a public media service of LSUS, at 89.9 FM KDAQ, Shreveport-Bossier at 90.7 FM KLSA, Alexandria Pineville at 90.9 FM KBSA, El Dorado, Magnolia Camden at 88.9 FM KLDN, Lufkin Nacogdoches, and at 100.7 FM KTYK, Overton, Tyler, Kilgore. We also broadcast on translator K214CE in Grambling, Louisiana. It's the second week, the fourth day of our Fall Pledge Drive. It's the 19th of October. Give us a call and make a donation, 800-552-8502. You're automatically entered into a drawing to win a 6 to 8 night Royal Caribbean cruise, courtesy of Expedia Cruises in Shreveport. And the reason why earlier I asked you about those banjos, I had some uncles that were from Holland.
Yeah.
Okay. And when they got over here, they decided they all played banjos. They sat around all day. They had three uncles, three brothers, and they decided they would go to Arkansas and live. And they wound up going up there and to play music, play banjos up there. And I never heard from them.
Living the dream.
That's so then they were pretty good at it too.
Yeah, it's crazy. The few like Europeans that I've met are like really into music, American music, and I've met some Europeans that know more about American music and oftentimes Shreveport music than I do. They're just really into it. So that's neat that they came from Holland playing the banjo.
Yeah, a lot of folk and blues artists made it big over there when they were largely unrecognized here.
And it's amazing to me, most artists that I meet, none of them read music. I mean, none of them. Mm-hmm. It's like, goodness gracious, they just kind of pick up the instrument and go.
Yeah.
So I guess that really kind of amazes me. So.
Yeah, Michael knows a lot of music in a lot of different ways than I do. So he'll speak about modes, M-O-D-E-S, and he was like, well, it's this one, but it has a sharp fourth. I'm like, okay, I know sharp fourth, but he'll name all the modes, and I'm just kind of confused and stuff. But he'll help me out. He's like, well, just flatten the fifth, sharpen the fourth, leave out that G. Don't hit the G, or hit that G a bunch.
Yeah. That's how we do it.
We have Twain.
Joel is fantastically adaptable. Don't let it. And you could adopt him too, probably.
I am adoptable.
Adaptable was what I was trying to say.
So is your drummer, is he going to say anything? How did...
Ask him some questions, see what he comes up
How
with.
did you get on the
I
drum?
spoke a lot.
How
on
old
the
were you when you
sound check.
started playing drums, Lane?
5-ish.
Wow. I knew your dad real well. Nice guy.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Remember the mustache and the glasses? And he was always nice to me and smiling. Great guy.
Yeah,
Great
super
guy.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we have Twain Darkley with us until 10 o'clock tonight in the Performance Studio. It's our last band of this pledge drive. Give us a call at 800-552-8502. All three of the band members would love to hear from you. Maybe you have some friends out there, guys, that are listening, and maybe they want to call in and make a donation.
I feel like we must, so.
Yeah,
Maybe you can inspire someone.
Yeah, I just checked my phone, and my friend David is listening to us in Singapore.
Wow.
I think David is in Colorado, Clancy is in, no, Dennis is in California, and Clacy is in Colorado, but my sister in Dallas, my brother in Chicago. I'm getting all these texts that I didn't realize till I just, while we were talking, I looked at my phone, and so there's a bunch of folks out there as far away as Singapore. Hi, David.
Well, let your friends know that we have an app now, so whatever platform their phone is, iPhone or either an Android, they can download it, and you can listen to us. They can listen to us on their phone with our app.
Yeah, when I text, because there's three of us, we were college, high school friends, and when we're texting, I have to keep in mind that Singapore is 12 hours different time than we are, so it's,
It's like a different day there.
Yeah, yeah, it's tomorrow already. And sometimes that's always nice. Is tomorrow going to come, David? I ask him, and he's like, because he's tomorrow. So it's always nice to me mentally, psychologically, just to know that, yes, indeed, tomorrow will come. Anyway.
Just like that sign, free beer tomorrow.
That's right,
Okay.
yeah. In Singapore, there it is.
800-552-8502. Call in and make your donation. With us is Twain Darkley until 10 o'clock. So, Michael, what's next?
We're going to do a piece called When Argonauts Waltz.
Okay.
And I know all our Shreveport fans dig this tune and are going to want to call in even as we're playing it. So.
That's right. It's in waltz time, which is perfect dialing time signature. 3/4 is just push the buttons to the beat.
You're listening to Red River Radio, and we have Twang Darkly in the Red River Radio studios with us today. I'm also joined by John Ellis behind me. I think he came to listen because your music is it has a lot of emotion and depth, and I really think it would be nice to hear in like films and video games as well. The song that you guys did for the tribute to Joel's cousin, I think that was amazing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, for the past hour, I decided not to be a Red River Radio worker and to be a listener. So I was listening in my car, and you guys sound amazing. Wow.
Well, appreciate it.
We are in our fall fund drive here at Red River Radio. So call in, make a contribution of support, 1-800-552-8502. And if you'd like to see Twang Darkly live, you can also go to our YouTube stream as well. Just go to youtube.com and type in Red River Radio, and it should pop right up. And you can see all the cool instruments that's going on in the Red River Radio studios. What's next on the set list?
We're going to do a piece called Gumshoe.
Okay.
Before we start, you said live, and I thought you were going to say something about our next live appearance, because you could not only see us in live, but you could smell us and wave at us and
Maybe
such.
even touch us
Touch us. High fives. We are down with
in an
high
appropriate
fives.
manner.
Well, what do you have coming up?
November the 4th, Art in the Park, from noon to 1:30.
Yeah, we played that last year for the first time, and it was just a really, really cool. It's North Shreveport up on Cross Lake, not
Right.
Caddo Lake, Cross Lake. And we had some friends that came and they paddled on their canoes and kayaks, and then they got back and they listened to us. Vendors, food trucks. It was a perfect, crisp fall day, and I have that in my brain, and I keep hoping that in a couple weeks when we return, it will be another crisp fall day, because it was a really cool event out in the shady woods with the lake right there. It was really cool. Yeah, sorry.
That's good. You did a good job.
That's great. When we come back, I'm going to have a couple of questions for you guys. So,
All right, I'm ready. All right, this one is called Gumshoe, as I said earlier.
That was amazing. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm surprised at each and every song that you play. I asked all the other bands that played during our fund drive how many years of experience is in the room. Now, I heard Lane say earlier he's been playing the drums since he was 5, so that puts you at,
About 25, 30 years now.
okay.
Yeah. Long time ago. But still feel like a child playing these here today. It's not the usual setup.
Oh, yeah. Michael, how long have you been playing?
I started playing back in about 1987. So I'll
That
let you work out the math on that.
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna say about 20.
That's more like 30-something years.
something years. Okay, and then Joel, how long have you been playing the guitar?
I think 41 years.
Okay, so that gives us. Oh my goodness! You guys come in second place to Bond Plus with 106 years of experience.
But how many members? So you'd have to
did
average,
I
you'd have to
lied
divide
about
by
it.
the
Lane
end.
would have to tell you the truth about his,
I
too.
lied about the number.
So add 30 more
So
years.
it'd be 60 years of experience.
So let's add 30 more, and
But
we get
I learned so much.
136.
I learned so much more just this year, and I think tonight as well,
Yeah.
than the previous number of years.
We've been playing with this lineup because we started and had another drummer, and he moved away. He was a physics professor at Centenary, and he moved up to Kentucky. He got a job up there, and Lane filled his shoes, and it's been over 10 years with us three, right?
Lane joined us in 2014.
Almost 10 years.
Yeah,
10-year anniversary.
And you know, I mean, I've played music for a long time in my life. I started out in the playing guitar in the church choir and such, but it's just it's a really fresh band. You know, we can play the same song 20 different ways, and Lane brings, you know, a different setup and just keeps us fresh, and it's really fun. Michael's always coming up with new tunings and new instruments, and you know, I mean, we played at an artist event at the Unitarian Church a few weeks ago, and about 5 minutes before we went on, no, actually, Michael came over early to my house and said, "Okay, here's the song we're going to play." Never played it before. We'll probably never play it since, but it's just really fun to do that kind of live experimenting. You know, we just play it how we feel it. You know, we don't play the same song the same way kind of ever again. So for me personally, they're great friends of mine, and it's just a really great thing to do, and it never gets stale.
Yeah. How does it feel to be a part of the local music scene, and how important is community support for artists like yourselves? Anybody can answer.
I don't know. I don't go out much. So I don't really know the scene all that well.
Yeah.
You know, in my 20s, you know, I was playing in bands and seeing all the bands and, you know, driving around and stuff like that. But I mean, you know, I just don't know the scene all that well. I knew a few of the other bands, but it's not usually through music. It's usually social things, and, you know, like Bond Plus, you know, I know some of those guys. And so if they're at a restaurant or something, I'll play them. And you know, it's not to diss anybody. It's just I have a busy life with other things, you know.
We all understand.
Yeah, but you know, I think, you know, like lots of things, you know, I think we kind of do our own thing, and personally, I wouldn't want it any other way. But I don't know if it necessarily helps us with booking. I think a lot of times people don't know what to do with us because A, we write our own songs, and B, wait, what? You don't have lyrics?
Yeah.
You know, so
Being an instrumental band seems to mystify a lot of folks. I'd say our connections in the community extend more broadly than the music scene. We're pretty well connected with the art scene in town more generally. and we enjoy that, and we get a lot of opportunities to play unusual events from that kind of connection, like the Art in the Park event that we're doing on November the 4th.
Yeah.
And, helping out at Red River Radio fund drives and
Yeah.
this kind of thing.
During this fund drive, we're celebrating the power of community support. So, how do you think that listeners' contributions impact independent musicians and local artists like Twang Darkly?
Simply having a vibrant art and intellectual scene in a town requires something like Red River Radio to be present in the community. And you guys do a great job of anchoring that experience here in town. And anybody who's listening right now, you need to call in and donate to keep this great stuff on the air. You can have local music, you can have the news, you got the everything, classical music, jazz. You guys do it all, and we're really happy to be part of it.
1-800-552-8502. Let's hear from you. And what's next on the set list, guys?
All right, this next one is called Skåne Motion. Skåne is a region in Sweden. Back in 2017, did an artist residency there, and this is one of the pieces that emerged from that.
You're tuned in to the heart and soul of your community, your local public radio station, Red River Radio. And tonight we have in the Red River Radio Performance Studio are the talented musicians of Twang Darkly. We have Michael Futrell on the electric gourd and the electric ukulele and the harmonica, and what else do you have over there?
Had a flute a little
had
while
a
ago.
flute a while ago. He has a lot of things over there, and you can tune in and to our live stream and see that for yourself. We have Joel Boltinghouse on guitar and bass, and Lane Bayless playing the drums. And Twang Darkly is here to lend their incredible talents to our Fall Fun Drive, which has been running for nearly 2 weeks now. But remember, it all comes to a close tomorrow at 7 p.m. Now, the really exciting part is at 7 p.m. we're having a drawing, and the prize is nothing short but spectacular. You can win a 6 to 8 night cruise on Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, and you can set sail on any Royal Caribbean itinerary. In the kicker, only a few blackout dates, which are just Christmas and New Year's. But what makes it even better is it's transferable. So if you win and you decided to gift this amazing experience to maybe a friend or a family member, you can. And it doesn't expire. So your chance to set sail, explore new horizons, and create memories that will last a lifetime will always be there waiting for you. And I think that that's a great incentive for a donation of your support. So here's what you can do. Call 1-800-552-8502 or visit our website, redriverradio.org, and you can make a contribution online. Now, let's all just show our support. When you call 1-800-552-8502, you'll be showing your appreciation for the fantastic music that we're hearing tonight from Toying Darkly by supporting Red River Radio. Your contribution goes a long way in keeping this station member-supported, commercial-free, and a vibrant part of our community. So thank you guys, Toying Darkly, for gracing our studio and helping us keep this fun drive kicking and going. We're honored to have you here.
Thank you.
That was
We're
a
honored
lot.
to be here.
Yeah, you asked about community earlier.
Yeah, I
and,
did.
And I remembered you were the MC.
Yes, I was.
At the Highland Blues and Jazz Festival, and Kermit Poling was out on a blanket,
Yeah.
and there was family walking around and stuff, and that's the stuff that I really enjoy. Where it's not like in a smoky bar at 2 a.m, but
Yeah.
there's kids around. Some of our friends' kids are up dancing, and Lane usually brings little shakers that look like fruits and stuff like that he'll give out to kids when we play at like outdoor events. And it's really fun to see kids dancing and see just that community kind of thing. It's not a $5 cover and you have to be 21.
Yeah.
But it's just really neat to see a part of it. And it was really neat that you introduced us because you know us. You've
Yeah.
it wasn't just some person like, all right, here's Twang Darkly, but you introduced us and talked about us and said that it was our third time to play, and that's just kind of neat, and that to me feels like a community,
Yeah.
I guess. So
No,
thank you.
you're absolutely correct. For listeners who may be new to your music and this is their first time on Red River Radio listening, how would you describe the essence of Twang Darkly, and what can they expect when they tune in? I believe earlier I think you mentioned fantasy music, if that was correct.
Folks, even after they've been listening to us for a while, will often come up and say, "What kind of music is that?" And it's always been a difficult, challenging sort of question to answer, particularly to those who just heard it. But we call it rural space music because that doesn't really mean anything. And we want to leave ourselves free to do whatever we fancy. Of course, there's a lot of different influences on what we do. There's the Appalachian, there's kind of roots rock, there's a lot of jazz influences in what we do, a lot of improvisation. But we kind of like to do our own thing, and we hope people will enjoy it. And if you're playing music that's real and genuine, I think you're gonna find some folks who connect with it. So that's what we seek to do.
What's the creative process behind your music? Like, what goes into composing and recording your tracks?
It varies pretty wildly. Sometimes we will record things that are just purely improvisational, and they may, catch our attention enough that, we will reconfigure them later into a song, a tune that sort of is recurring. A lot of pieces we do will start out as some sort of simple piece that bring an idea to the group, and we sort of hash it around for a while and talk. Oh, that works. Let's do this, and so it's a collaborative process, but it varies pretty wildly and widely.
Yeah. Again, Twang Darkly in the Red River Radio studios with us tonight during our Fall Fun Drive. Call in 1-800-552-8502. Let us know that you're here, you're listening, and you're enjoying this this space, would you say space fantasy?
Rural space
Rural
music.
space music. I'm going to have to keep that one in the noggin. Your next song, whenever you're ready.
This next song is a good example of a piece that I brought kind of fully formed to the band, but then once Joel got a hold of it with his rockabilly guitar, it became its own thing, and now it's called Appalachian Rocket Science. You ready, Joel?
Yes.
You looked concerned
You
there
know,
for
and
a second.
I skipped one on the set list, so I was expecting something else.
Okay. Now you're ready.
I am ready.
I felt like I was jamming out in the Florida Keys with the Beach Boys and MacGyver.
Heck yeah.
I want to go to that party.
Oh, yeah. You're listening to Red River Radio. We have Twing Darkly in the Red River Radio studios. Joel, I heard you earlier say something about playing in 3/4, which made me want to ask the question, what's the craziest tempo you guys played in, or time signature? Sorry, excuse me.
That's a Lane question.
Oh, there's some weird bars of like 5/4 that pop up every now and then. I don't know if we have any piece that's wholly in a weird meter like that, but we do have like some little bits of songs that have passages that are like that.
The hardest ones are without time signatures.
Yeah, we
There
do a
you
lot
go.
of unmetered stuff, kind of noodling around.
0/0 time, it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we do, I forgot about that. We do have some songs that have extra little beats in a 4/4 format, and then like, wait, there's 5 in that one.
That's my fault.
Would you happen to have any in your set list?
I don't think we doing that one tonight.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
What's next? What's next? Do you have?
I'm not
what's
saying that this
for
next
us?
one won't introduce some extra beats into
Hey,
it somewhere
hey,
too,
that's
but
that's absolutely okay. I think instrumental music has such more of a broader perspective. Like you can do anything with just instrumentals, whereas music with words you can improvise, but I feel like it's easier when there aren't lyrics.
Yeah, and we have fun. I remember one of Lane's earlier songs. I don't remember. We were playing at the Hilton downtown for some reason.
that was a jazz and blues fest related event.
Okay, a release.
Yeah.
Release the lineup and stuff, and we're just goofing around and stuff. And I brought out my speaking of Miami, I quoted Gloria Estefan. and I told Lane to turn the beat around,
And he did.
and he did, and I've never said that again because it messed me up so bad. But it was just so funny that I mean, we just have fun, and Lane is always just like I said earlier, just keeping us fresh and stuff. But that
I'll
was,
tell you, I'm a little messed up tonight because
Don't say anything that would incriminate yourself.
No,
Lane.
nothing like that. I mean, in this drum setup, it's unorthodox, and I'm not used to not using my feet. So just doing it with my hands.
That was another question that I had when I was listening in the car. I was noticing that I was hearing like the bass drum, but when I went in earlier, you have none, or you do not
just
have one.
my right hand on this drum here, but there's no guarantee that I can pull it off while we're doing it, and it's challenging, yeah.
we were texting earlier about the lineup and what we were doing and stuff because we had talked about playing acoustic and stuff. But Lane said, "No, I'm not bringing a bass drum," and Michael's like, "Wait, you're not bringing a bass drum and stuff?" So that's the fun part of just having the freedom to do.
Yeah, it turns
whatever
into
we
a
want.
Congo.
Yeah, and Lane, he's I don't know how many times he gigs out a week. He's in a lot of bands and stuff, but it's for a reason. He's I consider him a master drummer. He's very, very, very good at it. He'll, in the middle of a song, change out a drum or a cymbal and stuff, and he's not
No, I
doing
don't do
it.
that anymore, Joel. You know I don't do that anymore.
All right, but he's not doing it for show or anything. He has a real sonic idea, and he always impresses me with his ability to,
Turn the beat around?
yeah, to turn the beat around. I
Yeah.
mean, he has a teeny little micro kit now, and he's making it sound, like normal. If I were not looking at him and seeing what he had, I wouldn't think like, wow, he's got kind of a super minimal set just
Yeah.
because he can make it work.
He actually has a gourd in his setup tonight.
Yes, he does.
I see that. Before you guys play your next song, we have a few people to thank. We would like to thank Sarah Ham of Shreveport, Louisiana, Julie Singh of McKinney, Texas, and Julie says, in memory of Joel Boltinghouse's cousin Jimmy, and Philip Hardgrave from Alexandria, Louisiana. Thank you guys so much for making that contribution of support. You're in on all the drawings, and most importantly, you donated because you want to keep hearing this great music. What do you guys have next for us?
We're going to do a piece called Sway Birds.
I love the last chord. Absolutely. That was amazing. I'm like geeking out over here. Wow.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm a fanatic of instrumentalists, so to have you guys in the studio means the world to me right now.
Well, you were playing my Telecaster before we played. You're not so bad yourself.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
It was fun to hear.
Yeah, I see you picked up the ukulele, Michael. Are you gonna do something with it? Yeah.
I'm gonna smash it, Pete Townsend style.
I think it's I think it's cool to see an electric uke. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. What's up next?
We're going to do a medley of experimental improvisational stuff here. The first one is called Excavation, and that's going to take us into a piece called The Theme from Martian Archaeology. And we'll finish it off by segueing into yet another piece called Under Many Moons. At least that's the plan, but we'll see what actually happens.
Okay.
Joel?
Twang Darkly in the Red River Radio studios tonight. Michael Futrell on the electric gourd, Joel Boldinghouse on guitar and bass, and Lane Bayless on the drums. You guys sound amazing. Wow.
Thank you.
What words of appreciation do you have for our listeners who are contributing to the pledge drive to support local public radio and artists like yourself?
I mean, it's there's nothing else like it, you know. The news, it's thoughtful, even if, they have two people from different sides of the political aisle. They don't talk in hyperbole. Mm-hmm. They don't scream. It's just very factual, and it's just smart, You get the BBC perspective. Like I said, it's vital because in an age where there's alternate facts and just a lot of stuff going on, it's nice to have a thoughtful, real kind of adult place that you can go and hear stuff. That's getting rarer and rarer, and Red River Radio is on in my car. It's either that or the new wave satellite station where I get to hear The Cure. But yeah.
And if you're supporting Red River Radio, you're listening, you're supporting that kind of engagement with a community building effort that you need some sort of central public service to provide. Public radio, Red River Radio, provides that for this area. So if you supported Red River Radio in the past and in this fund drive, we thank you. If you're thinking about supporting it, now's a great time to call, and we will thank you. Help the community prosper. Help the arts, intellectual discourse.
Yeah.
Help us all just get along.
Yeah, throughout the fundraiser, it's just great to hear all the different types of folks y'all bring in and talk about their perspective, and
yeah.
And I'm just, I'm a fan of the music. I'm a fan of the news. I'm a fan of, just kind of everything they do, that y'all do. It's again, it's vital, and I thank everyone that calls in, especially my sister Julie, who called in. But
Thank
yeah,
you, Julie.
Yeah, thank you, Julie.
I know you guys talked about Art in the Park, but are there any collaborations or future endeavors on the horizon that you're particularly excited about?
That's the next gig we have, but we're always working towards new material, and one of these days we'll put out a new album, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't said it yet, but we are recording right now. Michael brought in his really cool little studio, and we've got monitors and lots of stuff going on. So hopefully this will be on a CD in the future, and we always, because we've played, we've released our stuff on CDs that have been recorded in this room before. And that's always neat because this is a great room. The folks out there in Radioland don't realize all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
there's about 8 miles of cable on the floor here, and there's really, really, really nice mics and pianos. And, we had sound folks just do a thorough sound check. And, yeah, so thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Kira.
You're the best.
Yeah.
I guess last question. Are there any memorable moments or performances in your musical journey that you'd like to share?
Yeah, and one connects, I believe we might have time for one more piece. Is that true?
No, we do
Oh,
not.
well, we're
This
done.
is our last one. Yeah.
We finished on a really weird note, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we did a show some years ago, and the piece I had in mind playing was from that. It was called Martian Archaeology. And it was the first time Lane really played with us, and it was a multimedia event that we put together and did down at the Shrek Art Station. That one always kind of stands out in my mind. It's one of our favorite pieces that we did.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for being on, and I can't wait to see you play next time.
Yeah, we really appreciate you having us, and y'all call in and support Red River Radio and keep this kind of stuff on the air, because it's not free for the radio station to put this kind of programming into motion.
Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.
1-800-552-8502. Our volunteers are here briefly for the next maybe minute and a half, so you can get that donation in, or go online, redriverradio.org, or download our app, Red River Radio. At 89.9 FM, this is KDAQ, Shreveport, Bossier City, 90.7 FM, KLSA, Alexandria, Pineville, 90.9 FM, KBSA, El Dorado, Camden, Magnolia, 88.9 FM, KLDN, Lufkin, Nacogdoches, and 100.7 FM, KTYK, Overton, Tyler, Kilgore. Our phone polls open back up at 7 a.m. tomorrow, so you can always make your donation in the morning as well. You're listening to Red River Radio, and up next, Swing Nights with Mark Pizzolato.
Kick things off.